Good morning, everyone. My name's Donald, and I'm here today to teach you English through a very important life lesson.
Hello, I'm Kim. Today we're going to discuss something that might surprise you, why talking about your dreams can actually kill them. This is a fascinating topic that will help you learn English while also learning valuable wisdom.
Before we begin, let me tell you a story from my own life. When I was 28 years old, I had a dream. I wanted to write a novel. I had this amazing idea for a story, and I was so excited about it that I told everyone I knew.
What happened, Donald?
I told my friends at dinner parties, I told my colleagues at work, I told my family members. I described the plot in detail. I explained the characters. I talked about how successful the book would be. Everyone said, "Wow, that sounds amazing. You should definitely write that."
And did you write it?
No, I never wrote a single word. The more I talked about it, the less motivated I felt to actually do it. Eventually, the dream just faded away. I still remember that idea, but I never wrote the book. And you know what? I've thought about why that happened for many years.
That's a powerful story, Donald. And I think many people listening right now have had similar experiences. They had a dream, maybe to start a business, to learn a language, to travel somewhere, to create something. And they talked about it constantly, but never did it.
Exactly, Kim. So today we're going to explore this phenomenon. Why does talking about your dreams sometimes kill them? What is the power of silence? And how can we use this knowledge to actually achieve our goals?
Let's start by learning some important vocabulary. Donald, can you explain the word phenomenon?
Of course. A phenomenon is an observable event or fact, especially something unusual or difficult to understand. When we say this is a phenomenon, we mean this is something that happens regularly, and we can observe it, even if we don't fully understand why.
Another important word is motivation. Motivation is the reason why you want to do something. It's the energy and desire that pushes you to take action. When you're motivated, you feel excited and ready to work hard. When you lose motivation, you feel tired and don't want to do anything.
Let's also learn the word validation. Validation is when other people approve of you or confirm that you're right. When someone validates you, they say, "Yes, you're good. Yes, your idea is good. Yes, you're on the right track." We all need some validation, but too much validation for things we haven't done yet can be dangerous.
Now, let me share some scientific research about this topic. In 2009, a psychologist named Peter Gollwitzer conducted a study at New York University. He wanted to understand what happens when people announce their goals to others.
What did he discover, Kim?
He divided people into two groups. One group told other people about their goals. The other group kept their goals private and didn't tell anyone. Then both groups were given time to work on their goals. Can you guess what happened?
I think I know. The people who kept quiet worked harder.
Exactly. The people who told others about their goals worked, on average, only for a few minutes before giving up. But the people who kept their goals private worked much longer and harder. They were more likely to actually achieve what they wanted.
That's fascinating. So the research confirms what many people have experienced personally. But why does this happen? What is the psychological explanation?
The explanation is both simple and profound. When you tell people about your goal, your brain receives a reward. Other people say, "Wow, that's wonderful, good for you." This praise feels good. Your brain releases dopamine, a chemical that makes you feel happy and satisfied.
Dopamine is a very important word to learn, everyone. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter, a chemical messenger in your brain that creates feelings of pleasure and reward. When you eat delicious food, dopamine is released. When you achieve something, dopamine is released. When people praise you, dopamine is released.
Here's the problem. Your brain doesn't distinguish between the satisfaction of talking about doing something and the satisfaction of actually doing it. When people praise your idea, your brain thinks, "I've already succeeded." It gets the reward without doing the work.
This is what I experienced with my novel. Every time I told someone about my book idea and they said, "That sounds amazing," I felt a rush of satisfaction. I felt like I had already accomplished something, but I hadn't written anything. I had only talked.
Let me explain this with a metaphor. A metaphor is when we compare two different things to help explain an idea. Think of your dream as a seed. When you plant a seed in the ground, what does it need to grow?
It needs water, sunlight, and nutrients from the soil. And importantly, it needs time underground before it emerges as a plant.
Exactly. In the beginning, the seed must stay in the darkness beneath the soil. If you dig it up every day to check on it, if you expose it too early, if you don't let it develop in that protected space, it will die. It cannot grow.
Your dreams are the same way. In the beginning, they need to stay in the darkness. They need to develop in private. They need time to take root in your mind and heart. If you expose them too early, if you talk about them too much, they die before they can grow.
I love that metaphor, Donald. It really captures the essence of what we're discussing. Now, let me share another reason why silence is powerful. When you keep your dream private, you maintain something called creative tension.
Can you explain creative tension, Kim?
Creative tension is the gap between where you are now and where you want to be. It's the uncomfortable feeling that you haven't achieved your goal yet. This discomfort is actually good. It motivates you to take action. It pushes you to work.
But when you tell everyone about your goal, you release that tension. You feel like you've already bridged the gap. You get the social recognition and approval, so the uncomfortable feeling goes away. And without that discomfort, you lose your motivation to actually do the work.
Exactly. The tension is what drives you forward. It's like stretching a rubber band. The tension creates potential energy. When you release the tension by talking, you lose that energy.
I want to share another personal story. 5 years ago, I decided I wanted to run a marathon. A marathon is a very long race, 42 kilometers or 26 miles. It requires months of training and preparation.
Did you tell people about this goal?
No. I learned from my mistake with the novel. This time, I told only my wife. I didn't post about it on social media. I didn't tell my friends. I didn't tell my colleagues. I just started training quietly, every morning before anyone else was awake.
What happened?
I trained for 6 months. Some mornings were difficult. Some days I wanted to quit. But because I hadn't told anyone, I felt no pressure. There was no one to disappoint except myself. There was no one to impress. It was just me and my goal. And after 6 months, I ran the marathon. I completed it. Only after I finished did I tell people what I had done. And you know what? The satisfaction of telling people I ran a marathon was much greater than telling them I'm going to run a marathon.
That's the difference between potential and achievement. When you talk about what you're going to do, you're sharing potential. When you talk about what you've already done, you're sharing achievement. Achievement is real. Potential is just a promise.
Let me teach you a phrase. Actions speak louder than words. This is a very common English expression. It means that what you do is more important than what you say. People are impressed by actions, not by talk.
Now I want to clarify something important. We're not saying you should never tell anyone about your goals. We're saying you need to be very careful about who you tell, when you tell them, and how you talk about your goals.
Exactly. There's a difference between announcing your goals for validation and discussing your goals for accountability. Let me explain these two words. Validation means getting approval and praise. Accountability means having someone check on your progress and hold you responsible.
If you tell your friend, I'm going to write a book, and your friend says, wow, that's amazing, you're so talented, that's validation. It feels good, but it doesn't help you actually write the book. In fact, as we discussed, it might make you less likely to write it.
But if you tell your friend, I'm going to write a book and I need you to check on me every week, ask me how many pages I've written, hold me accountable if I'm not making progress, that's accountability. That can actually help you achieve your goal.
The difference is subtle but crucial. Validation is about feeling good. Accountability is about taking action. Validation is passive. Accountability is active.
Let me share some practical advice based on what we've discussed. First, when you have a new dream or goal, keep it private initially. Don't announce it, don't post about it on social media, let it develop in the darkness like a seed underground.
Second, instead of talking about your goal, take one small action toward it immediately. If you want to write a book, write 1 page. If you want to start a business, research one aspect of your business plan. If you want to learn a language, study for 15 minutes. Action, not talk.
Third, if you need support, choose 1 or 2 people carefully. These should be people who will hold you accountable, not just praise you. Tell them your goal and ask them to check on your progress regularly.
Fourth, don't share your goal with negative people or with people who might discourage you. Some people, unfortunately, don't want to see others succeed. They might criticize your dream or tell you it's impossible. Protect your dream from these people.
Fifth, document your progress privately. Keep a journal, take notes, record what you're doing. This helps you stay motivated because you can see your progress, but you're not seeking external validation.
And sixth, only share your achievement after you've made significant progress or completed your goal. Replace "I'm going to" with "I did." The satisfaction will be much greater, and you'll inspire others through your actual accomplishment.
Now, let me address a question some of you might be thinking. But Donald, what about vision boards? What about positive affirmations? Don't many successful people talk about visualizing their goals?
That's an excellent question, Donald. Yes, visualization can be helpful, but there's a crucial difference between private visualization and public announcement.
When you visualize privately, you're programming your own mind. When you announce publicly, you're seeking validation from others.
Exactly. If you want to create a vision board, do it privately. Put it in your room where only you can see it. If you want to say affirmations, say them to yourself, not to others. Keep the power internal, not external.
I want to share a story about a woman I know. Her name is Sarah. Sarah wanted to start her own bakery. She loved baking and dreamed of having her own business. For 3 years, she talked about this dream constantly.
What happened to Sarah?
She never started the bakery. She was always talking about it at every party, every gathering, every conversation. People would say, "Sarah, when are you going to open your bakery?" And she would have excuses. "Oh, I'm still planning, I'm still researching, I'm waiting for the right time."
But the right time never came.
No, because she was getting all the satisfaction from talking about it. People treated her like she was already a bakery owner. They asked for her baking advice, they called her the future bakery owner. She got the identity without doing the work.
Already a bakery owner. They asked for her baking advice. They called her the future bakery owner. She got the identity without doing the work. Then one day, her friend Maria said, "Sarah, stop talking about the bakery. Just start baking and selling." Sarah was shocked. No one had ever told her to stop talking about it. But Maria's words woke her up.
Did she change her approach?
Yes, Sarah stopped talking about the bakery. She stopped posting about it on social media. She stopped telling people her plans. Instead, she started baking at night after work. She started selling her baked goods to neighbors and friends. She saved money. She researched quietly.
And then?
2 years later, she opened her bakery. She invited everyone to the opening, and people were shocked. They said, "When did you do all this? You stopped talking about it." Sarah smiled and said, "I stopped talking and started doing." This story illustrates our lesson perfectly. When Sarah was talking, she wasn't doing. When she stopped talking, she started doing. Silence created space for action.
Let me teach you another important concept: the difference between interested and committed. Many people are interested in their dreams. They like the idea, they enjoy talking about it, but they're not committed.
When you're committed, you don't need to talk about it. You just do it. Commitment is quiet. Commitment is steady. Commitment is consistent action day after day, regardless of whether anyone is watching or praising you.
I've noticed this pattern in my teaching career. Students who constantly tell me, "I'm going to study so hard this semester. I'm going to get an A. I'm going to be the best student." These students often struggle. They spend their energy talking instead of studying.
But the students who quietly sit down, open their books, and study every day without announcing it, these students actually achieve high grades. Their results speak for them. They don't need to promise anything because they're already doing the work.
This principle applies to every area of life.
In fitness, the people who constantly post on social media about their workout plans often don't follow through. But the people who just go to the gym consistently without posting about it, they get results.
In business, the entrepreneurs who are always talking about their next big idea rarely execute. But the entrepreneurs who work quietly in the background, they build successful companies.
In relationships, the people who constantly post about how much they love their partner often have unstable relationships. But the couples who quietly love and support each other every day, they build lasting marriages.
It's a universal pattern. Talk is cheap. Action is valuable. Silence is powerful.
Now, let me address another important point. Some of you might be thinking, but what about networking? What about telling people about my business so I can get customers? What about promoting myself?
That's a valid question. There's a difference between promoting a finished product and announcing an incomplete dream. If you've already created something, already achieved something, then yes, you should share it with the world.
For example, if you've written a book, you should tell people about it so they can buy it. If you started a business and you have a product or service to sell, you should market it. That's not the same as announcing your intention to do something someday.
The key is this: share what you've done, not what you're going to do. Share your results, not your plans. Share your achievements, not your intentions.
Let me give you a formula to remember. Dreams plus silence plus action equals achievement. Dreams plus talk minus action equals disappointment.
That's a brilliant formula, Donald. Let me break it down for our listeners. If you have a dream and you keep it silent and you take action, you will achieve it. But if you have a dream and you talk about it but you don't take action, you will be disappointed.
The silence is crucial because it protects your dream, it protects your motivation, it protects your energy. All that energy that you might spend talking, you can instead spend doing.
I want to share one more scientific insight. There's research in psychology about something called social reality. When you tell people about your goal and they acknowledge it, your brain starts to perceive it as already partially accomplished.
Can you explain social reality more clearly, Kim?
Social reality means that things become real to us when other people acknowledge them. For example, you're not officially married until society recognizes your marriage. You're not officially a doctor until you get your degree and society recognizes your title.
So when you announce your goal and people say, "Congratulations," or "That's wonderful," your brain treats it as if the goal has already been partially achieved in social reality?
Exactly. You get the social recognition before doing the work. This satisfies your brain's need for social validation, which reduces your motivation to actually do the work. It's a psychological trick your brain plays on you.
This is why silence is so powerful. When you keep your goal private, you deny your brain that premature social validation. The only way to get validation is to actually achieve the goal. This keeps your motivation high.
Now, let me give you some homework to practice what we've learned today. First, think about a dream or goal you've been talking about but haven't started. Write it down on a piece of paper.
Second, make a commitment today to stop talking about this goal. Don't post it on social media, don't tell your friends, don't announce it. Keep it private.
Third, take one small action towards this goal today. Just one small step. If your goal is to write a book, write one paragraph. If your goal is to start exercising, do 10 push-ups. Just take one small action.
Fourth, find one person, just one, who can hold you accountable. This should be someone who will check on your progress honestly, not someone who will just praise you. Tell this person your goal and ask them to check on you weekly.
And fifth, keep a private journal of your progress. Every day, write down what action you took towards your goal. Even if it's a small action, write it down. This will help you see your progress without seeking external validation.
Before we finish today, I want to emphasize something important. We are not saying that you should be secretive or dishonest. We're not saying you should lie to people.
We're simply saying that you should protect your dreams by not broadcasting them prematurely.
There's a beautiful quote I want to share. I don't remember who said it originally, but it goes, "Work hard in silence. Let success make the noise." This perfectly captures what we've been discussing.
Work hard in silence. This means do your work privately without announcing it. Let success make the noise. This means when you achieve your goal, the achievement itself will speak louder than any words you could have said.
These examples teach us that true achievement comes from quiet, consistent work, not from loud announcements and empty promises.
I want to close with a personal reflection. Looking back on my life, my biggest regrets are not the things I failed at. My biggest regrets are the dreams I talked to death, the dreams that died because I spoke them too much and acted too little.
That's a powerful reflection, Bonald, and I think many people listening can relate to that feeling. We've all had dreams that we talked about but never pursued. We've all experienced the disappointment of unfulfilled potential.
But here's the good news. It's never too late to change your approach. Today can be the day you stop talking and start doing. Today can be the day you embrace the power of silence.
Remember, silence is not weakness. Silence is strategy. Silence is protection. Silence is power. When you keep your dreams silent, you give them space to grow. You give yourself space to work. You give your achievement space to emerge.
From a language learning perspective, we've covered many important words and concepts today. Let me review some key vocabulary: phenomenon, motivation, validation, accountability, dopamine, commitment, social reality, and creative tension.
We've also learned important expressions. Actions speak louder than words. Work hard in silence, let success make the noise. And dreams die when you speak them. These phrases are useful in many contexts.
The grammar structures we used today included conditional sentences. If you talk about your goals, then you might not achieve them. We also used comparative structures. Talking is easier than doing, and silence is more powerful than speech.
But beyond language, we've learned a profound life lesson. We've learned that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is say nothing at all. Sometimes silence is the best strategy for success.
So I encourage all of you, choose one dream that you want to achieve. Keep it silent, protect it, work on it every day. And when you've achieved it, when you've accomplished it, then and only then share it with the world.
Your achievement will inspire others far more than your promises ever could. Your results will speak louder than your words ever would. Your success will make all the noise you need.
Thank you so much for listening to today's lesson. We hope you learned valuable English skills and valuable life wisdom. Remember, we're not just teaching you a language, we're teaching you how to think, how to act, how to succeed.
Practice the vocabulary we learned today. Reflect on the lessons we discussed. Think about your own dreams and how you can protect them through silence. And most importantly, take action.
Don't tell us what you're going to do. Don't promise anything, just do it. Work quietly, stay focused, be patient, and when you succeed, we'll celebrate with you.
Until next time, everyone, may you find the strength to work in silence and the wisdom to let your success speak for itself.
Goodbye, and remember, the quieter you become, the more you can accomplish. Take care, everyone.
Goodbye.